Hi, this is Dr. Yam. So we are going to learn uh, how to do file geodatabase, and then also we are going to learn how to import export your data. Okay. So first of all, as you can see here, so we got United States like the county shapefile and count the this is the U.S. county. This is the Ohio highway. If I zoom in a little bit, you can see like here a highway. This is line shape file. And also we got like the Ohio shopping center. There's like the green dots. They are Ohio shopping center. So we got the polygon file. We got also polyline. We got point. We have the three different types of file. Okay. So those kind of things we have here. So point, polygon, point, polyline, polygon, three important data types we are using in the vector GIS. So we also call it the vector data. So first of all, week 4, so we are going to learn those kind of stuff. And here, this is like we can say this is a real world, those kind of shapes, right? And then this is raster images. We have the two different types of the GIS, which is the raster GIS and vector GIS. Now we are pretty much focusing on the vector GIS, these types. So raster is the same as like the imagery, like your picture. Okay, there are many cells, and it becomes like the big images. We can use it in the GIS, but in our class, we pretty much pay attention to the vector GIS. So in the vector GIS, we can see here point, polyline, polygon. Okay, so let's say this is like the river and lake and forest and just land, and then it can show through the vector data. We can see like this, right? Okay, this vector data are composed of those kind of feature. So you already saw that, right? So geometry like coordinate system. This coordinate system. This is like the I already mentioned it before. This is the spatial reference. Okay, this is like the feature, like the shapes of like the land or like the mountain, road, those kind of stuff. And this is the geometry means like the again like the spatial reference, the location information, and attribute like the data information like the household income stuff, those kind of based on its geometric locations. So you already saw that, right? So then we can see here, and then you may heard about like the shapefile before, and now like we are talking about feature class and a data table, something like this. Okay, so if you look at here, like this is like the light green US state shapefile, which is polygon, polyline, point, right? This is edge. This is line shapefile, edge file, which is the same as all street file. And this is the point file. You can see the point here, like the shopping center, right? This is the attribute table, right? So this is like the informations, like the data table, okay? So in the this is like the kind of default setting of ArcMap in terms of data. Okay, this is very like the heavy and like the big file. If you download like the US population data shapefile, then your file will be really big. So this is very large and heavy data. It is default data. So we can convert those kind of data into feature class. So feature class means this kind of data set. Okay. So you can see a difference between shapefile and feature class is a size. Okay. the shapefile is much larger than feature classes. Okay, so it does not matter whether I mean, it does not matter. You can convert this thing or you can just use these things. But usually we can convert this thing into like the very light file. So if you convert the polygon, polyline, those kind of shape file into feature class and like the geodata table, we call it, this is the file geodata table. So all these things like we just did feature class. So if you convert this thing, that the size of this file is much smaller than shapefile. Okay, so that is much efficient, but still is fine. Okay, I mean if you do not want to change, but I recommend you need to convert those kind of the shape file into like the feature class and the file geodata tables. Okay, I mean the functions are same. Okay, they are the same. Okay, then now, so if you open your like the data table, you already know like we can see here a layer. This layer, it looks like just one single file, right? And if you look in the catalog here, it looks like the one single file, right? But if I open like the week 4-1, I open the folder and outside the arc map. Then now you can see here there are like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 like the component becomes one layer. Sometimes like 7, sometimes 6. It doesn't really matter. But like this layer is not only one single file. There are many like the different file come together and it becomes a one single layer. Okay. So now we are going to learn how to convert all those kind of layer into the feature class. Okay, so first of all, let me show you one thing here. There's a rule. All this like the shape file and this is dbf table, dbf file, those you can save them into the regular folder. Okay, this is important. You can save this like those kind of file into the regular folder, but you cannot save them into the regular folder. You have to save this like the feature class into file geodatabase. Okay, I say this is like the gray container. Okay, you need to create the gray container. Then you are going to import all those kind of things like the layers, I mean the shape file, into your gray container. Then it became feature class. Okay, again, you can save your shape file into regular folder. Okay, that is possible. But you cannot save this feature class into your regular folder. How we can do? First of all, we need to create the file geodatabase. I will say gray container. So once you create the gray container, then you can import all those like the shapefile into your gray container. Then you can see this kind of feature class. Okay, so here, so before we like the import all the layer into your gray container, let me show you like the basic things how we can export our data. Okay, so here there are two ways to import export. So if you are starting here, you are going to export your data to here. Okay, let's say here week 4-1 we got 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so here I'm going to delete this. So we have a 1 2 3 4 four files here. We got also here 4 files. I want to make the one more Ohio Highway. So I'm going to export Ohio Highway from here. Right click, data, export, and then I'm going to find out my the locations. Week 4, week 4-1. So look at here, file and personal the feature class. If you select this, then you are going to export the data as a feature class. But here you can select this one, Shapefile, and database feature class. But I'm going to save this as a Shapefile. Okay, so this is Ohio Highway. I'm going to click this, then the name is going to be changed. Then I'm going to say 2. Okay, 2. And then now I can create another Ohio Highway line shape file, and I can click save and OK. Okay, and then I click yes. Then you can see here in the bottom Ohio Highway 2 here. We create another line shape file, and then you can also hear Ohio line shape file. It's gonna be the same. And I'm going to delete this one. And if you remove the layer from here, you can remove your layer from the screen, but your data is still here. But if you right click and delete, then you are going to delete your layer. So let me delete. Okay, then click OK. So we deleted, so it's coming back. So now I wanna see, I'm going to turn off Ohio Shopping Center and turn off the highway, and I just want to export our the counties in state Ohio. Okay, so you can click this, select the feature, and then press down shift key. Then you can select all the Ohio county like this. You can do this, but we can open the attribute table here, right? So if you ascending, then you can see you can find out Ohio, right? But there are much efficient way to export your data. So here now I open the attribute table, and I'm going to click, right? I'm going to click and attribute table, and actually we don't have any okay, let me see. If we have the state number, so we just select the state number, then we can select only Ohio, right? So here, let me see, the GOID equal. This is the 39, means the state of Ohio. 035 is the Ohio, the Cuyahoga County. And if I click this, then I can see here Ohio, right? So if I ascending this one, let me see. So we are going to find out 39, because 39 is state Ohio. It's all of it. All. So here, from here, 39 to scroll down, 39 here. Then you press down Shift key and click this. Then now we select the state Ohio. Then right click, data export. Then you can name it like the Ohio County. Then you can export. So I'm going to export this one as a shapefile, not like the feature class. Okay, shapefile. Save it. Okay. And yes. Now we created new shapefile, right? So actually you export your layer, then means like you are going to create a new layer. Okay, it's the same thing. Okay, so now I'm going to move this, and then I'm going to remove this too again. So now let me show you how to create file geodatabase, which is this gray container. Okay, so here on the folder, on the Echo catalog here, on the folder, right click, and you are going to go new, and you are going to create a file geodatabase. Okay, you are not going to create the geodatabase because it has like the small capacity. As far as, remember, you cannot save more than 2 gigabytes, but you can save like the much more than 2 gigabytes. So you can create the file geodatabase. You click this. So this is you can create the gray container. You click this. Then now you create the gray container. Then now you just click this and then name it like the week 4 _1. Okay, so click enter. So now we created the gray container. It's the empty one. So now we are going to import this layer into here. How you can do that? Right click, import. Okay, if you want to import just a single layer, you can just the feature class single. If you want to import more than 2, you can select the multiple. But even though you select the feature class multiple, you can still import 1 layer. So there's no meaning you can have this. I always use this like the multiple, the importing the feature class multiple. I click this. So now you will have this, the box. Then I'm going to click this, the small arrow. Then I'm going to click Ohio Shopping Center. I'm going to click Ohio Highway. I'm going to click and US county population. If you select like the feature class single, then you need to name it again. But if you use like the multiple here, you are going to use the same name. Then there's one like the questions, and I want to import all these 4 into here, but if I click the small arrow, I only can see 3. Why I cannot see like the US county population table? It is because we are going to import only layer. So we are going to convert the shapefile into feature class. The US county population, this is not Shapefile. This is data table. Okay, so there's another way to import this data table into your gray container. So now it says like blah 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 here, week 4. This is our gray container names. Then I click OK. And do not touch, do not click. You just need to wait until it import everything. You can see here it's locked. You cannot do anything on here. Do not touch your MXD. It's gonna be crashed. Okay, now it's outcome app is working. You need to wait. When it's finished, it will show you the message on here. So you don't need to export the layer from here individually. You can just import. See here, it's finished. So you can see like the small plus sign. If you click this, now you can see 1, 2, 3. Like this is feature classes. Okay, then I'm going to import the U.S. county population data table into the gray container. Right click again, import. Now we are going to import table. So now we have like the feature class, what table, and the rest of the data set. But now we are not going to deal with the rest of the data set. So I'm going to select a multiple table here. Then if I click this, then I can see here. If I click this, then I can import. Then there's another question too. So I click this, and then I Shapefile. Why I have to see all this layer, even though I try to import the data table? It is because all this layer also have attribute table in it. Okay, if you select this, you will import attribute table of this into this gray container. Okay, so again, right click, so let's do it again. I'm going to right click and then import and table and multiple. As I mentioned, if you click this, you can see all the file. I tried to import the data table into my gray container. Even though I tried to import the data table, but I can still see all the shapefile. As I mentioned, all the shapefile also have attribute table in it. So let me try import everything like this. Then in our data, I don't need to change any names, and then I click, and then let's see what happens. So it's done. It's done. Then I'm going to click this. Then see, we got extra tables, right? So actually we don't need this extra table. So if let's see if I add this, then we got a highway table here. Then let me open this table, and then we can go to table option, arrange a table, and you can see 2 tables at the same time. Let me do the horizontal. So this is like the original highway table. This is like we just create a new table. They are same table, right? So I just try to show you what's gonna happen if we select everything. So I create the new extra tables here. I'm going to delete this. We don't need this. I just try to show you what happened. So now one more thing. Now what I want to show you is, I opened it. This is like this Ohio highway, right? So here, this is the Ohio highway line shape file. This is before we convert into like the feature class. If I click this, this is our geodatabase. This is our geodatabase. Then I click this, and this is our geodatabase data in it. I don't know which one is which. Okay, so they are totally different, like the structure. Okay, so week 4-1 like this. They are totally different structure. Okay, so you need to know, like the in the just regular folder, if you open your regular folder geodatabase, you cannot recognize which one is which. But in the shapefile, raw shapefile, you can see like this. Okay, so this like the kind of PLJ, those kind of things, it contains like the special reference. Okay, so now this is how you can import the data from like the shapefile to the feature class. Of course, you can add like this, and then it will show you like the here new data path. Also, here, look at this. I'm going to export US population data. Then here, my geodatabase in here, right? In week 4, under week 4-1 folder, but I cannot see my container. Why? Because you try to save your layer as a shapefile. If you want to save it as a feature class, you just click and feature class, then you can see those like the gray container. You double click it. Now you are in the geodatabase. Then now you can just click, then the name will be changed. This one, then I'm going to say 2, and I'm going to save it, and okay. Then it will export this layer as a feature class, right? So you can also export this layer into your gray container as a feature class. Okay, of course, this is feature class. We are going to right click, data export, and we are going to save this as a shapefile. So now if you select shapefile, you will see other shapefiles. If you click the feature class, then you will see your gray container, and then you click this and then save in it. If you click this, then you don't need to type the names, so you can just click this and then click 3, then you can just easily make the names. Okay, so that is, so depending upon how you can select this one, it could be tricky. Many students forgot to select the types, so you need to pay attention to select the types. Okay, it is important. So this is how you can do like the file geodatabase, how you can convert your line shape, your polygon point to a polyline, the shapefile, which is heavy file, into the feature class, which is light, like the shapefile. Okay, so I mean, actually they are same thing, same functions. Okay, we just convert this thing into like the light way. Okay, this is it for the file geodatabase. Thank you.